Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Monday, August 8th, 2022. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Glad you're tuning in with us for Talking Fitchburg on this Monday evening. And it was a not too bad of a weekend. It was kind of a weird weekend. Really hot on Saturday and then kind of wet at different parts of the day on Sunday. It actually turned out to be not a bad day at all on Sunday. Just that mugginess, though, is there. And even in today, it still feels muggy out, but it's cooler, and it's getting cooler today and for the next day or so as well. So we'll take that as we work on a Monday, and cloudy skies give way to some sun tomorrow, which will take sunshine any day of the week for sure. I got a busy show to tell you about today. We'll be checking in with our friends from the Public Works. Bill Balke will be here to talk about the road construction happening across the city of Fitchburg, including the anticipated South Sayin Road project. We'll have the details coming up on that. Plus, we're going to check in with the Better Business Bureau on back-to-school scams, and today's is going to be targeting college students. So, want to make sure we protect those students who are just beginning college or ones that are still in there. It's a good refresher for you, no matter what the case. Don't want you to get scammed, and that continues our back-to-school coverage with the Better Business Bureau each and every week. We appreciate Tiffany's help, and we'll have that coming up for you. But first, let's get to the headlines, and we start with road construction and the construction at Highway MM in McCoy. As you know, that construction project has been going on and now is, delayed because of the stoplights not being ready yet. That's right. So we're going with stop signs there. So yes, the three-way stop signs will be in place until we get the replacement, but the stoplights for this intersection. So please plan ahead, plan extra time at this intersection when you're coming and going from work. And as soon as the stoplights get in and get installed, this will go to a stoplight. But in the meantime, this is the safest way to open up everything with the turn lanes in place. So you will be able to make turns onto McCoy moving forward, but anticipate delays because of the stop signs there that will be posted. And please proceed with caution in the area because that road was open through traffic on MM. So we want to make sure you stay safe on that. And yes, that we don't have a deadline on when the stoplights will be in, but we do have our road construction update coming up, so you can check that out in our digest. Other news, we got brush collection week, August 8th. Started this morning, and it runs through the week. And it says here, residents are provided with 14 brush collections between April and November. Residents must have their brush placed at the curbside by 6:30 a.m. on Monday of the brush collection week. Brush will be picked up between Monday and Saturday, but not necessarily on your refuse collection day. Next collection date will be the week of August 29th. And if you feel that your brush was missed or you have any questions regarding the pickup, please contact Pelletieri. Their number is 608-257-4285. Tomorrow is the fall election that is coming up here in the city of Fitchburg. We want to get you the information on that. The fall election here is for the polling places will be opening up at 7 a.m., close at 8 p.m., and where you'll be voting is here. District 1 is the only one that's changed for this election, and it's going to be at the Catholic Multicultural Center, 5256 Verona Road. And then District number 2, you're at the Wyndham Garden Hotel, 2969 Cahill, Maine. Fitchburg Community Center is site of District number 3, 5510 Lacey Road. And Fire Station number 1, 5791 Lacey Road is for District number 4. It's not too late to obtain an ID to vote for the fall primary election either. Wisconsin fall primary election is Tuesday, August 9th, and voters who don't already have the Wisconsin driver's license, ID, or other form of identification needed to vote may still get Wisconsin ID from Wisconsin Department of Transportation Division of Motor Vehicles. That's the DMV. Wisconsin Election Commission's website also explains options for IDs to show at the polls. There is no separate voter ID, and a federally compliant real ID card is not required for voting purposes. You can go to the DMV's website or the elections.wi.gov commission for more information. They have the info you need, though you know what you need to bring it to the ballot, but DMV can provide you with information that you can take to the polling inspectors to vote tomorrow for the fall election. Fitchburg Community Night Out is happening tomorrow night as well. So not only you got the election night, but you got Community Night Out. Fitchburg Police Department invites you to the Fitchburg Community Night Out. It's going to be at McKee Farms Park, and we are so excited to have all of you out there. We hope you can come. The weather's looking wonderful, and not only will we have great camaraderie time between police and the community, but we'll have public safety entities, police EMS and fire will be out there, Public Works, and a lot of nonprofits. And I'll be out there handing some information on the community as well. So stop on by, say hi tomorrow night, 5 to 8 p.m. at McKee Farms Park here in Fitchburg. And sticking with the Fitchburg Police Department, a stolen vehicle recovery and arrest. This came in on Friday. The Fitchburg Police Department took a 14-year-old into custody early Friday morning and recovered a gun after they used a tire deflation device to help stop a stolen car. The arrest began to unfold around 1:40 a.m. Friday morning when a Madison police officer spotted a Nissan sedan reported stolen out of Milwaukee on Midvale Boulevard. As multiple officers began to saturate the area, the Fitchburg officer saw it again on King James Way. Shortly after it was observed on King James Way, a Fitchburg police sergeant positioned a tire deflation device ahead of the Nissan's path. Fitchburg officers attempted a traffic stop on the car, but it fled and drove over the device, causing at least one of its tires to deflate. The car eventually came to a stop at the 2000 block of Redeo Trail, where the driver and passenger ran from the vehicle. Fitchburg officers were able to apprehend a 14-year-old passenger quickly. The Madison Police Department assisted with a perimeter and utilized a K-9 unit and unmanned aircraft, a drone, in an attempt to locate the driver, but they were not found. Inside the stolen car, officers located a loaded handgun. The Verona Police Department and Dane County Sheriff's Office also assisted at the scene. The 14-year-old passenger was transported to Dane County Juvenile Reception Center. Officers are continuing to investigate this incident to determine if the gun and other items in the car were recently stolen. Anyone with information regarding the incident is asked to contact the Fitchburg Police Department. Their number is 608-270-4300, or you can contact Madison Area Crime Stoppers. Their number is 608-266-6014, or you can go to p3tips.com. August law of the month is drive sober every trip behind the wheel for impaired drivers. Yes, we want to make sure that as you head out this rest of August, that you make sure you think twice before hitting the road. Impaired driving is illegal, dangerous, and can be deadly. Still, thousands of drivers get behind the wheel drunk or high every year. Someone is injured or killed in an impaired crash every 2 hours in Wisconsin. Wisconsin State Patrol's August Law of the Month is a reminder of the harmful consequences of driving while under the influence. We'll share the rest of the story online, but please find a sober driver when heading out. And if you suspect somebody that is impaired, please contact 911 and share the information that you can to get these folks off the road. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we open up our digest. We're going to be checking in on our Fitchburg road construction update next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready!
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from our Public Works, it's your Public Works Director, Bill Balke. Bill, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Glad you're taking the time out today. Know you're very busy, but appreciate your time on Road Construction Update. It's been interesting because this year has been definitely different with road construction, where we're not talking about all these huge projects going on. There's been a lot of little projects, but we've kind of had a little bit of a quieter year for construction, which I'm okay with, and I know you are too. Still a lot going on there. But one of the bigger projects that people have seen, and I know I have, is the MM and McCoy project. What's that project, and where are we at with it?
Yeah, MM and McCoy was a project where we were reconstructing the intersection and installing traffic signals there. The construction part of things, the road part, has been wrapped up. So we've got all the pavement markings down, and we're ready to accept traffic through there. The one downside is that the traffic signal part of things with the supply chain and everything has been delayed. We ordered them back in January. They're still not giving us a firm delivery date on those. So what we're going to do in the meantime is set up, unfortunately, an all-way stop. So you will be able to turn left from McCoy onto MM. But unfortunately, you're probably going to be sitting at the end of a very long line of traffic. So you probably want to avoid that area if you can still. It's just going to be some pretty big backups there, but we'll have it open to traffic. It's just going to be an all-way stop until we get those signals. And they're not promising, delivery date. It could be a month, could be more, but it's like that all over the country.
Yeah, and is it better to open up the intersection so people can make those turns, like the rationale for going with the four-way versus not and leaving the barricades up? What's the rationale?
Well, we got some different configuration out there with the turn lanes now, and it just wouldn't be conducive to have that wide open traffic with the turn lanes in there. So we're having everybody stop for the meantime and just make their way through cautiously.
Yeah, it's a safety factor more or less. That's the biggest thing there. So we'll make sure we let people know when do you anticipate those to be the four-ways to go up, or three-way, if you will?
Sure. The three-way stop will be going up today on Monday, August 8th. So that's what's happening this morning after they get the pavement and the walkthrough done, probably sometime today on the 8th.
All right. Well, we'll be ready for it, certainly, and try to get the word out on that. Turning our attention to a big project that's going to be kicking off, and we've talked about this project, but it's the Saline Road project, South Saline Road, I should say, project. It's complicated because it's weird that it's starting in August. That just throws you off. Like, why are we starting so late? But there's good rationale for how this plays out. But tell us what's coming up here on South Saline Road.
Yeah, we've got a pre-construction meeting kicking off tomorrow with the contractors, so we'll be talking about all the details of the construction. But essentially what's going to happen is probably in 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to start seeing, the barrels come in and roads being closed off. Essentially what's going to happen is you'll be allowed to keep going through northbound on Saline, north of Lacey Road, all the way through, just a one-way. You won't be able to come southbound. So essentially where Central Park Place is, there'll be a detour set up to go around the construction, because we're going to be constructing the west side of East Sherrill, and the west side of Saline Road at that time. So we'll have a lot of detours. They're pretty complicated. they'll be easy to understand once you get out there on the road, but the mapping of it is just not put together, but we'll be sharing map updates and construction updates throughout the project. So we'll be getting those down to Jeremy so he can do a great job of sending those out to everybody. And we'll have them on our website and things like that. But essentially, we're looking at construction from September through the end of October to get that intersection of East Sherrill and Sayin Road reconstructed. The intersection south of there at Lacey Road and part of Lacey across the railroad will be reconstructed next year. So there'll be some construction going on down there next year. So it's a two-phase project.
Yeah, it's it sounds complicated, and we're gonna take you through it step by step here on Talking Fitchburg and get the information out there certainly. But timing on this, it's got a time with that quick trip opening up, Bill, because I got to be able to get into my quick trip. So
absolutely, we'll find a way to get you there.
Okay, Bill. And the detour maps too, we will have those for you as soon as they get finished up there and get you around these construction areas. Finally, want to check in just on the wells update, kind of interesting situations through early this summer regarding the wells, but things are back online and the flow is good.
Absolutely. Yep. The water restriction came off at the end of July. So, you know, you can continue to water things as you need. We got all of our wells up and operating again. So we don't have any flow restrictions. And yeah, we appreciate everybody's patience during this. It did help out a lot. We did see some decreases in the water flow. So that did help, you know, our wells recover a little bit better.
Well, I say the weather helped a little bit too. You know, we just got enough rain where you can get away with not having to sprinkle too much.
Yeah, yikes. We had a couple of those 90 plus degree days that were just they were warm.
Yeah, you got to cut the grass, but you got to be so careful, like how comes down to inches when you're talking that. But anyway, we'll digress into that in another discussion called Mowing with Bill. But till then, we'll leave it at that. Bill, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We'll check back in with you as soon as the Sayin project gets rolling.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet. That's Bill Balke, your Public Works Director here at the City of Fitchburg. And as Bill mentioned, we will share information on all of these projects as they come up, information, detours, and more. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today from the Better Business Bureau is Tiffany Schultz. Tiffany, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Are you ready to talk about scams that target college students?
I have a niece heading to college this fall, so these are some good reminders for her.
All right, well, let's get her some tips right now. College students, they spend a lot of time on a lot of different things as they're transitioning here, but we know most of them have the phones now, have the different things that could put them in touch with scammers one way or another. So first one is just how do we have them be on the lookout for scammers?
Scammers are probably the least of a college student's worry, but it should be forefront. It should be a priority. And one thing that credit card companies like to do is target college students with offers. Not only do credit card companies like to target them, but con artists and scammers like to target them too. They want them to open their credit card. They're 18 years old, they're away from home. It's a great time to start getting yourself credit. It's a great way to do it if you can manage it responsibly. But along with credit cards, you do need to be responsible, not for just paying it, but making sure that you are applying for a legitimate offer. So if you do get credit card applications, make sure that you read the fine print and know what you're signing up for before you give that personal information out.
Yeah, and these aren't just coming, you're like, well, these are coming in the mail. This isn't just in the mail. This is email. Could be on the social media sites. They're coming from all different directions now. So like you said, if you don't know if they're legit, you could get yourself in trouble. How about, I like this, too good to be true apartments. What?
Again, con artists take real listings for apartments and other forms of housing and promote it as their own. And as a college student, maybe you're traveling out of state, maybe you're going across the country and you need some place to live. And you find an ad online and it does sound too good to be true. It offers all the amenities that other places do, but at a lower price. And con artists will say, oh, yeah, that place is available, but I've had a lot of interest in it and I need the deposit in the first month's rent right now in order to secure it. And, it's too good to be true. So you go ahead and you put that deposit down only to find out that the place doesn't exist. So be careful if you are looking for housing and make sure that you visit in person and make sure that that place really exists before you go ahead and put a down payment on it.
Yeah, that's big in so many different ways. And read the fine print on those contracts too. We know from Department of Ag Trade Consumer Protection that there's a lot of reports between tenants and apartment owners and trying to bridge that gap because one party didn't understand the other party's rules, blah, blah, blah. So definitely do some double checking into that. Identity theft, one that we kind of talked a little bit about already in a different form, but that's still a priority that you need to be on the lookout for.
Keep your personal information, personal documents secure, whether you put them in a safe, you send them back home. Don't change your mailing address for your bank, your credit card. Make sure that those go to a secure place and that they're just not left on the kitchen table. If you're sharing that space with a roommate, make sure that they are secure, just like your money is secure.
Absolutely. Scholarships and grant scams, maybe not exactly the time of year right now, but as that comes up, we still got to be on the lookout for that. And this doesn't matter if it's parents or the students. So you got to watch out for these.
There's companies out there that are legitimate companies that offer you the opportunity to consolidate your loans, which is great. But there's also bad actors out there that offer you opportunities to consolidate your loan. All you have to do is pay a small fee. That should be a key indicator that it may or may not be legitimate. There's also opportunities out there, and I say that in quotes, that will offer you a grant. All you need to do is go ahead and apply and give your personal information or maybe pay some money to get the grant. You should never have to pay money to get money here. So watch out for those two things, big ones that are happening on campus this fall.
And the online shopping scams certainly there are plenty out there. I've always shared all the great stories from my world, but that is something we still got to check on each and every time or think about too when we're out shopping.
Just like there's fake credit card offers, there are fake websites and they are popping up everywhere. We always encourage you to use familiar websites if you're going to order online. And as a college student, it's even easy to order pizza online, but you need to make sure that you're ordering from a legitimate website. If you're in an unfamiliar area, going to college in a new place, you may not know who the familiar retailers and restaurants are. Before you shop online, you want to make sure that the website is free and clear of spelling and grammatical errors. That's a big red flag. If it's full of errors, a professional website is always going to be free and clear of errors. Look in the website address bar. Does it have a lock symbol? A lock symbol is going to mean that that page is secure. You also want to look for an HTTPS, not an HTTP. look for full contact information. Call the phone number, see if that phone number really exists. Google the address. Does that place of business really exist? And first and foremost, what are they doing with your personal information? Read that privacy policy. So as you venture out into this world, you need to be a little bit careful as you go ahead and order those needed supplies and even ordering food online these days, because scammers are out there to take advantage of your credit card and your personal information.
Yeah, and like I said, it never stops either. So you got to keep checking it. You got to keep staying up on the latest and greatest information. And I want to leave some time here in this interview for just that, Tiffany. On the website of bbb.org, you have the scam tracker. You have up-to-date information. How do people? What would you recommend people do if they want to learn more through BBB's website on these topics, or just to stay up on the know-how of all of these things that are always circling around us?
If you're looking for a company to use, whether it's a restaurant, online retailer, maybe you're moving into your first apartment and you need to hire a contractor, head on over to bbb.org and you can search by company name or you can search by category in the area that you're in, and you're going to get a listing, and you're going to get a listing of both accredited and non-accredited businesses. Those accredited businesses have been vetted and background checked by us. So we check licensing. If they're required to be licensed, we do a background check on the owner of the company. A non-accredited business, they're not necessarily a bad business. You just have to go ahead and do that research on your own. A lot of consumers don't know where to turn. Where do you check for licensing? How do you check the owner's background? How do you even find out the owner? So lots of things go into the accreditation process. And then you can also check their rating with us. Ratings are anywhere from an A+ to an F rating. You can see who owns the company. You can read customer reviews. You can read any complaints and how that business owner handled the complaints. It's really important as you make an informed decision to be able to hire that person, whether you're hiring a contractor or buying through an online retailer or heading to a restaurant. So lots of things that you can do on bbb.org. You can also report a scam, and you can look up the scams that are taking place in your area. bbb.org scam tracker. Take a look at it. You can zoom into your area and see what scams are going on. You can read the description of the scam. So if you have been approached by a scam similar to that, and you're not exactly sure if it's a scam or not, that might be a confirmation for you that it's best to look elsewhere.
All right, Tiffany, great information as always. We'll look forward to checking with you next week.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, bbb.org. That's where it starts. We'll be right back. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Como padre, todos los días son un desafío. Y hay que estar ahí presentes. No importa lo cansado que uno esté, hay que estar ahí presentes para ellos. Cuando los niños aprenden algo nuevo, es ese momento mágico y especial. Y creo que presenciar eso, ese momento es mi favorito.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for the day, I want to thank Bill Balke from our Public Works Department and Tiffany Schultz from the Better Business Bureau helping us out with our back to school scam well, today we're talking about scams and making sure that target college students are not being targeted by scams. We'll continue that series next week with Tiffany, and we'll continue to get the latest on your construction with Bill coming up, especially on that East Sherrill Road, or East Sherrill from East Sherrill and Lacey Road on East Saline, where that construction is going to be happening. As you wrap up, remember you can stay connected with Fact TV. The info is there. I am done. I'm tongue-tied for the day. Have a great night.